sleep. And so I'm like laying there on the sofa editing one of these podcasts and watching Pelicans lose. And I was like, I'm gonna go upstairs and see if the heater's on.
Stop.
And it was not.
Aww.
The air conditioner was on, and it was like 60 degrees in the house, which in our house is freezing because we don't have insulation underneath the bottom floor. And I'm like, I am never gonna get warm. So shout out to heaters.
Yeah, hands and feet. That's what gets cold here. This morning.
I brought those mittens.
This morning, I was getting ready to do the workout, and just my hands were frozen, and there were kettlebell swings. So Kevin opened up his jacket, and I just put my hands on either side of him, and it honestly made all the difference in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you can get past when you're laying in bed, if you can get past initially putting your feet or someone else putting their feet on you, you'll warm up a lot quickly. Like, Emily will always put her bare feet on me when we get in the bed, and it's like icicles right into my, like, body.
Into your soul.
Into my soul. So, awesome. Hey, everyone. Welcome to With That Being Said, a Rue Fitness podcast. I am Bradley Schneller, and this is...
Sarah Altobello.
Very nice.
Damn, I'm getting good at that.
Awesome. Icebreaker today. How do you keep warm?
How do you keep...
Because it's cold outside.
I have... Well, when I'm at home, I have these super obnoxious slippers. They're like... They go to like mid... calf.
Okay, I like
and they're all furry. And I get home, I shower, and I throw those on and I wear them until the minute I get into bed because I absolutely refuse to wear socks to bed. Even though I
can't wear socks to bed. That's
even though
crazy.
I have that weird circulation thing with my feet, I can't bring myself to do it.
I so much can't wear socks to bed that I don't allow my kids to wear socks to bed.
It makes me kind of ill.
When they get in bed and Brennan's like, I'm just going to sleep here in socks because I'm 6 and that's what I'll do. I like rip his socks off and I'm like, you cannot go to sleep with socks on. It's
this
weird.
Is unacceptable.
Like, I couldn't imagine having sex with socks on.
One of my cousins...
That sounds French.
...is weird about feet and even would go to the beach with socks on.
That's super weird. Also, like, you shouldn't wear those slides with socks either. That's weird, too.
Only if you are literally...
an athlete who just came off the field and took his cleats off.
Yeah, or you're... I have done that a couple times when I'm coming to the gym and I left my shoes here.
That's different.
But
you're not going to the grocery store in slides and crew socks.
But I will take my socks off if I do have to run errands after.
I drink hot liquid all day.
Ooh, yeah.
So the problem with that is I tend to drink a lot of coffee. I really like coffee. So I'm just caffeinated, way over caffeinated.
I love coffee. Coffee's great. I drink it all day.
In the wintertime. So I'm trying to like move on to tea a little bit, some decaffeinated teas. But I eat a lot. Eat a lot of soups. Eat soups or you drink soups? You eat soups.
I think you eat.
You eat soups.
I mean, you use a spoon. You don't use a straw.
That's true.
I
do this at the end, though.
True.
Slip down the bowl.
I'm having a serious first world problem this year in
terms
of that. I have a really nice giant, it's not a Yeti, but it's something similar for my coffee. Like I could fit a half carafe from my Ninja in there. One of my greatest satisfactions, or greatest pleasures when I'm coaching in the winter is holding.
Oh, yeah.
My hot liquid. But with this mug, it keeps the inside stuff nice and hot. But there's no heat coming from the outside, and I'm holding it, willing it to warm up, and it just doesn't. But I love holding, that hot tea or hot cup of coffee in the winter.
I like that. That sounds good to me. I'm looking forward to my hot coffee this afternoon. Sarah got a coffee. Yes. I didn't get a coffee because I asked for a cappuccino.
Non-fat cappuccino.
A non-fat cappuccino just because I don't know... I normally like full-fat cappuccinos.
But you're
I'm doing a little macro counting right now, and I don't know how much cream they're putting in, so I just said, screw it. We'll just give me a skinny one. I know there's none.
And then instead, he got a
what'd they give me,
caramel macchiato. So
what'd you say when you walked in?
I was like, he's not going to touch this. And he didn't. I placed it on another table for him.
I am not drinking that. So if anyone wants to come warm up a caramel macchiato, it'll be here in the kitchen. You can have it
for the next 20 minutes.
We'll keep it till the afternoon. You can warm it up and drink it later. I'll stick it in the fridge. You can warm it up in the microwave before you work out. So
this is getting more unfortunate.
Let's jump in. All right. So you came up with this topic today.
Yes.
I love it. It's called Final Truths.
Yeah.
Tell me about some final truths.
Well, this concept came from, I feel like I'm starting to sound like Emily. I heard it on a podcast.
That's where we get most of our education.
Yes. This guy interviews someone every week, and he ends with asking the person he's interviewing, like, if you never wrote your books, if you were never on this radio show, if you never did this TED Talk, like if all of your work was gone and nobody knew a thing about you, what are 3 final truths that you would tell someone? Doesn't have to be about you, but just what are 3 truths that you would want anyone to know if all of your other work was gone?
Can we make them about us or about me?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
And I mean, the ones you think are important are obviously personal, you know?
Yep.
They go back to you.
Yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah.
We want to go one for one?
Yeah, we're going to go back and forth. 2 of mine are actually things that my parents have said to me all growing up, and they kind of said them to mean one thing, and I've taken them across multiple aspects of my life. We'll go with Bud Waldman first. He is a runner, and so his mantra is the race is not to the fastest, but to the one who keeps on going.
Yeah, it's 100% true.
And I apply that to so many aspects of my life, to a workout, to if you tuned into us a couple weeks ago talking about kind of my struggles with anxiety, the kind of that mentality of like pushing through something and it not being about winning. It's just about finishing.
I just realized that I offered up a coffee to people to come in, and this coffee won't be here in
It's
2 weeks when you listen to this. 3 weeks.
I know. It's fine.
Back to the race. Sorry.
But that has been a really important one for me, I think, my whole life. And going back to thinking about...
That makes me think of Drew Brees.
Yeah.
So recently, Reggie Bush posted an Instagram video of Drew Brees. He was the only person in the facility after practice on a Sunday night, because the game was on a Monday night against the Colts. They won 34-7, and Drew Brees set the all-time passing touchdown record.
I was there.
And he was just working for 45 minutes by himself, envisioning the game.
Mm-hmm.
Making all the
Like
reads, going through the progression, snap for snap, even like practice dapping people, even though no one was there. I showed it to Emily because Emily really doesn't care about sports, but she likes stuff like that. And it's the people, like, you don't have to do it fast or hard or shoot out of the cannon, but it's the people that grind every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exactly like you said, like continuous.
Yeah, and it goes back to, we talked about this a few months ago. We did a whole podcast on like kind of the idea of being talented versus like being the hardest worker in the room. And I think it's way more important to be the hardest worker in the room.
Yes.
And I think that's what that statement really drives home for me. And I look at like so many other people in my life really embodied that. Like my mom's father worked until 2 years before he passed away, and the only reason he retired is because he got sick.
Right.
But like he worked full time, and he didn't like at work he didn't do anything. I don't know. He didn't set any records or anything like that, but he was such an incredible human being and enriched the lives of those around him, and a lot of that was due to his work ethic.
That's awesome. So mine is, it's not silly, but
they can be fun. They don't have to all be serious.
It's actually to have fun, and that's to have fun in life. And it's I live that so much that it's kind of like our new motto for the gym, which is get fit, have fun. It's one of our core principles, core values, and and it's something that like I talk about a lot. And when I talk to other gym owners or my previous mentors in business, they talk about how our community here at Rue always has a ton of fun. And it's honestly not replicable unless you live that way.
No.
People always look at it and they want to try to have this fun community, but if that's not one of your truths, you're going to have a hard time like imparting that on the people that works out for you.
It's a trickle down effect. It doesn't
Yeah.
just come out of nowhere.
And I think that's important, and it's something that I want to impart on people, because if you can't have fun doing it, is it worth doing?
Right.
You know, and that can kind of go for anything. It could go for your work. It could go for, you know, how you interact with other people. But, you know, like Emily, she's a grinder. She grinds every day. She has fun grinding.
Yeah.
Like, and she will grind the things that, I mean, look, we all got to do stuff that sucks. Right. But overall, like, you want to have fun or try to make things fun. And, you know, I just can't imagine a life that's worth living without it being fun along the way.
I think also having fun is kind of, if you are having fun, what it kind of points to me is that in your life you are, whether it's just an activity or you're just having fun in your life in general, but you're in a point where you are giving and receiving pretty equally.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're giving a lot and you're happy to give, but you're also getting a lot back.
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
fulfilling and it gives you more energy. When you're happier, you have more energy and you can continue to.
That's also why that Pharrell song was so good.
Pharrell?
He's a feral cat.
Oh.
Bless. Oh, jeez. I need some coffee. Where's that caramel macchiato?
It's you can get it. It's over there.
Nope.
I said he's only drinking this if he's super desperate.
I might be desperate.
We're almost at that point. Not yet.
All right, number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me is a little bit of wisdom from Deb Waldman, my mother, and I will
shout out to Deb.
Love Deb. My friends, she was the religious studies teacher and chaplain at St. Paul's when she retired, and my friend Miles called her the Reverendess. So kind of the backstory for this with my mom is my mom went to nursing school, got about halfway through, and realized it was not for her. So she went back, changed her major to education, got into the classroom as a student teacher and started to freak out again because she was suddenly like, I don't think this is for me. Like, what am I going to do now? And her mentor asked her why. And my mom kept saying, like, you are so great with the kids. Like, I don't feel patient. And she was going home at night beating herself up about not feeling patient with these kids and these parents. And her mentor said, you don't have to feel patient, you have to act patient. And I think that statement allows me, and I know it did for my mother, to like take a lot of the guilt away from like feeling certain ways about certain things. And the older I get, realizing you can't control your emotions, you can control the way you react to them.
I need to take this advice.
It's one of my favorite sayings in the entire
It's
world.
like, you know, you can be an asshole, you don't have to act like an asshole.
Yeah.
That's me.
And I mean, I applied that. I initially started to apply that. She told me that when I was still teaching ballet like 5 days a week, because I'd be like, Mom, what the hell? Like, I have these kids, they're driving me up a wall. She's like, just because you want to like tell a parent off, that's fine, but you shouldn't. Or just because you want to say something to a kid, it's fine. Just don't do it. Yeah. And so for someone that is an overthinker, yeah, like I just said before, it takes the guilt away from your feelings. Like, it's totally fine that you feel that way. It just matters how you act on those feelings.
I love that. That's excellent.
Thanks, Deb.
My second one's kind of hokey.
Okay. What you got?
I guess all of mine are kind of hokey. But it's like, when I'm gone, I want people to remember that I cared for others.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people know this about me, but I really care about the well-being of other people. And I think all people should feel this way, but it might be one of my flaws. Emily and I always talk about this, is like let's say we not necessarily make a financial decision, but do something that isn't beneficial for us financially, but is either fair or generous to someone else.
Right.
We always make that decision to benefit someone else because maybe it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And then we always follow it up with, well, this is why we're not rich.
Well, and I think we get all the time, and I think less now that Rue is kind of expanded, and especially in the last year with like Emily and I doing nutrition, and now we have 2 more coaches on board, and you and Peter getting certified. But how often people think that like, I work at this gym or you own this gym just so you can do whatever and work out all day. And yeah, you could open a gym because that's what you want to do. But at the end of the day, if you don't genuinely care about the people that come in your door and making their lives better, then this gym is not successful and this gym does not grow.
100% we can make some decisions around Rue Fitness that would be more financially beneficial to Emily and I and you and Chelsea and all the other coaches. But we want to give everyone the best experience possible.
Right.
And some of that means taking it on the chin a little bit. And I know, people really don't understand everything that's involved with running a gym. I certainly didn't when I opened this gym. Otherwise, I might not have ever opened a gym.
But here we are.
But I feel like, if you're going to do something, you got to do it for the right reasons. And you need to do it, to provide the best possible experience. And I just can't imagine cutting corners for a financial reason.
Right.
And look, we make some financial decisions, but it's not at the detriment of anyone that comes in this gym. And I don't necessarily, mean this truth when it comes to the gym, but I mean all things possible, you know, whether it's giving a gift to someone because that person has been good to you, and you didn't have to, but you just do it because it's the right thing to do. I don't know, things like that.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Super savvy.
See, it ended up not being too hokey.
Good.
You just thought it was. We going to 3?
Yeah, let's go 3.
Third one, just for myself, it's not as eloquent as Butter Debs, but it's just to treat people and with respect and kindness, but most importantly, yourself. That is the first person you have to treat with respect and kindness. You and I talk a lot about how critical we are of ourselves. And I think being your own worst critic can be really good. You can let, having attention to detail, the work you put out, you care a lot more, but sometimes we end up beating ourselves up way, way, way too much. And just in general, in terms of everyone else, like we've spoken about before and like we talk about all the time, social media is a big thing. And even without social media, like my sisters, for example, neither one of them live in the city. I don't see them super often. And I love them dearly, but there's times I don't like what they say, or I'm sure they don't like what I say. And it would be really easy to make some kind of snappy comment to them, but I am not there all the time.
Right.
And I don't know every second of their days and what is going on in their heads. And so I need to treat them with kindness and respect, even if it's a struggle in the moment.
Yeah.
I count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I love that. For me, it would be like to not skip an opportunity to do something where the consequence is your normal life. And what I kind of mean by that is I got tons of examples of this because I generally don't skip those opportunities anymore. And I live that way. But I remember I was working at this is when I first started CrossFit, and I was working at the Westin Hotel, and one of my accounts was Mumford & Sons.
Yeah.
And they were with Old Crow Medicine Show doing the Silver Bullet tour or something like that.
On the train.
On the train. And they rode in on this train.
Yeah.
And I got to meet them all and talk to them. They were staying
I didn't
in my hotel.
know this.
And they came up to me, and I knew who Mumford & Sons was. I didn't know who Old Crow Medicine Show was at the time. But I was like...
This is mind-boggling to me. Continue.
And they were doing their concert was right at the foot of the hotel right there.
Right.
And it was along the river. And they were like, hey, we got some backstage passes to our concert. Do you want to go? And I was like, I got to go CrossFit later. So I skipped to go work out.
Damn.
And I regretted it that night. I regretted it the day after. And I decided that I will never make that decision ever again.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So, you know, even when I'm a little like weary on the outcome, you know,
Right.
or the opportunity, like I'm not really sure, but I can recognize that people don't often get these opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to ever be in a situation where I regret skipping something that was right there in front of me, easily handed to me. Like, I mean, that sucked.
Yeah. And I would much rather spend my money on experiences than things.
Well, and this was free.
Well, I mean, there's that. We don't. I was trying to not make you feel super bad about that. But
I feel pretty
I'm gonna
bad.
Make you feel really.
I
Bad
mean, this
about
was
that.
like 8 years ago, and I still think about it.
Damn. Yeah. Like I just remember Ryan and I's first anniversary when we were dating. He really loves Black Star, like Mos Def and Talib Kweli, and they were playing at the Sugar Mill. And he was in school, and the only money I was making was from dance, which was not a lot. And I spent the money for us to get 2 tickets
awesome.
for our first anniversary because I was like, oh, well, like I'll
Right.
just, you know, eat rice cakes for 3 weeks, but it'll be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And I never
was it worth
regretted
it?
that.
Yeah.
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 100%.
That was kind of like last year. We weren't in a place financially, but it was the NFC Championship game, Saints
Yep.
versus the Rams, in the Superdome. And I got tickets to go, and I skipped my brother-in-law's 40th birthday party. Sorry, Brian. But like I wasn't gonna skip it. Like I was like, this is something I really care about that I spend all the time, and not that I don't care about you, Brian. I love you, Brian. We talk on the
Right.
phone. I really care about you, but like I wasn't gonna miss this.
Yeah.
And people can look at me like I'm an asshole or selfish or whatever, but I wasn't going to skip in that. And although the Saints got jobbed on the most unbelievable non-pass interference call in the history of the NFL, so much so that I made Roger Goodell clown stickers for us to march in the Irish Channel Parade with.
Tell him how many stickers you made.
1,000. I still have some. Emily's like, you're not going to give out all those. And I'm like, yes, I am. And I didn't
Yeah.
give out all of them.
I have one on my root koozie.
I got
root
them on my ice chest. I'm still finding them all over my house. But anyway, I didn't miss it, and I still am glad that I went.
Yeah.
So, just food for thought.
Yeah. I think that's kind of just what this was about, or what are the things ultimately you want to put out into the world. And I think this is also just, I don't know, I was thinking about these and it was just reaffirming
I love it.
that I'm happy
This was great.
where I am in life and doing what I'm doing. And
So feel free, guys, to share your final truths,
Yeah.
either in the comments section or on our review section of iTunes or Spotify.
they can be about you, they can be about life, they can be hokey, they can be serious. Just
Yeah.
what would you want the world to know?
All right. Y'all, if you haven't liked us yet on Instagram or Facebook, it's Rude Fitness.
Yes.
Also, check us out on iTunes and Spotify. Obviously, you might be listening to it right now, but
You can subscribe
give
so
us
you never miss an
subscribe,
episode.
give us a 5-star review, rating, and review. So, love it. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Holler.